Hey guys, it's Katherine. I'm a certified law of assumption coach here with Create Your Future, and today I want to talk with you all about the importance of not taking life seriously and how this can really improve the quality of your manifestations. But first, I do want to mention a few things. I am available for one-on-one coaching, and you can find the link for that in the description below, along with the links for my intention recordings. So as of right now, while I'm recording this, I have put out 3 different intention tracks. One of them is all about manifesting communication between you and SP, doesn't matter how long it's been. Another one is for revising your breakup with SP and strengthening your relationship and improving your communication with SP. And then another one is all about moving beyond a breakup, upgrading your self-concept to knowing that you are entitled to unconditional love, and then also laying that energetic foundation for your new relationship with your new SP, where you will receive that unconditional love. All 3 tracks are about 20 minutes long, designed to be played on loop, and they are woven throughout with intentions that will help you get into the state of feeling like you are in the state of the wish fulfilled, faith that your intentions are working, and a strong belief in the law of assumption and in your abilities to consciously create things for yourself. So I'm really happy with how these turned out. And all of the intentions used in these recordings are intentions that myself and my clients have all had amazing success with. And I have had many people ask me to record these intentions on a loop so that they can listen to them throughout their day. So here you go, and I hope that you all enjoy them as much as I enjoyed recording them for you, and I intend that you get great success as a result of listening to and applying these intentions for yourself. So, I want to talk about the importance of not taking life seriously, because I know that I have struggled with this, and I have seen a lot of clients also struggling with getting drawn into the illusion of life as being something that's real and that can actually, affect you. When you get sucked into that illusion and you start to take life seriously, then these things that you want, let's say you want to be in a relationship with SP, suddenly they take on this new level of importance, and you start to attach your state of happiness to whether or not you are with SP, for example. And so when you do that, you're putting it all the way up here on a pedestal, and you're putting yourself down here, and you're kind of like, oh, if only this would work. If only SP and I were together, then I could be happy. When you do that and you make an external source responsible for providing your happiness, not only is that very needy and desperate energy, it's very codependent as well. People can sense that. But the key here is that you've just hitched all your horses to one cart and basically said, if this doesn't work, I'm not going to be happy. And so when you do that, your fear of disappointment gets a lot larger, and it starts to feel like overwhelming, and your manifestation takes on such a new level of importance. And then I often see clients, when this happens, they start to spiral very easily because they're questioning, why haven't I gotten my results yet? It's been, a few days, or it's been a week, and I've been intending, and I'm still not with SP. What am I doing wrong? And then those thoughts create more spirals. And then that fear of disappointment grows larger, fear of failure grows bigger, and this importance of this happening goes all the way up here out of reach. And your power has just been given to an external source. You see what I'm saying? And so when you do that, you're submitting to the external universe, which is, yes, it is you pushed out, right? This is your playing field. But in a sense, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. It's sort of like if, I don't know. I mean, really and truly, I guess the best way to put this is the universe's job is simply to bring your manifestations into fruition in the 3D. And so it's kind of like a boss submitting to the employee, if that makes sense. And like saying, oh, if only you would have this report done on Friday. It would be so nice, if you would do this. Oh, I wish this would happen. Instead of just saying, hey, it's due on Friday, I'll expect it then. And then walking off, because they already know they said it and now they're going to receive it. There's no need to beg and plead and hope and wish. It's already done. And that's the attitude that you should have when you are creating. Remember, none of this is real. Holograms are made up out of tiny specks of light, right? That are moving at different rates of speed. Well, this is all a hologram. And think about it in this sense too. When you're dreaming and it feels like everything is outside of you and it's real, and you can kind of like, you're taking it all very, very seriously, whether it's a good dream or a bad dream. Most people are not always aware at all times that they're dreaming, right? And so when you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, that was just a dream. Either it's too bad because it was an awesome dream, or it's a nightmare. So you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that was just a nightmare. Well, one day you're going to wake up out of this life, and you're going to be saying the same thing. So your dreams are really dreams within dreams. And this life is another dream, probably within another dream. I have no idea how long this goes out. But what I'm saying is, none of this is real. This isn't real. And I'm not being facetious when I say this. So when you can start to think about it in this way, and you start thinking about it as more of a game, or even like when you're doing your manifestations as like a science experiment, you're removing the importance. When you remove the importance from something, you take away its power. Take away its power, you take away its power over you. And you're bringing that power back to yourself. When you do this, it's a lot easier for you to intend and then let go. Let the universe bring this to you. Let that manifestation catch up with you in the 3D. Queens and kings, they receive. They don't beg. They're not beggars. They're receivers. And when they give orders and they just expect that this will happen. There's no worry in their mind. They know that their word goes. And that's the same attitude that you should have with your manifesting. Another way to put it is like with the Karens. When you see those Karens, I'm not saying be the ones that are total jerks, right? But I'm saying like the general attitude of a Karen is that of somebody who, she's entitled. She knows she's entitled to whatever the situation is. And she's not sitting around justifying why she deserves something, why she's worthy of something. She's just saying it like it is. Hey, this happened. That's not okay. This is the result that I expect. Do it. That attitude, that sense of entitlement is absolutely amazing. And when you can start to apply that to your manifestations, you're not justifying why you deserve something. You're worthy of it just because you said so. You're entitled to it. And because you're here on this earth, in this dimension, and you are capable of creating whatever you want. This is your universe. So why spend time explaining to yourself, essentially, why you are worthy of something? Why tell yourself that you aren't good enough for something yet? No. That's why I get really annoyed with a lot of like self-help stuff. And it's not that it's not great to improve yourself, but when there's self-help that's saying, once you do all of this, then you can have love. That's ridiculous. Why can't you have love right now? Why can't you have these good things right now? I mean, we see a lot of people, right, that some of them are complete jerks, and they have people that absolutely adore them. There's a lot of people out there who are incredibly wealthy, and they're completely, some of them are complete jerks as well. You see? So it's not a situation of whether or not you deserve something, or whether or not you're a good person. It's whether or not you believe that you're entitled to it and you manifest it for yourself. It has nothing to do with being quote unquote good enough. So start applying these concepts to your life. Stop trying to explain to yourself why or why not. Stop trying to explain to yourself why you do or you don't deserve something. You deserve it already. You're already here. You're already playing the game, you know? And this game is just for you to be able to, use this earth, this dimension as your playground and create all sorts of awesome things. Think about it as sort of like, like an artistic kind of like a medium, that you're creating with. This is your clay that you are molding a really cool life out of. And so when you can start to think about it, don't limit yourself. If you want to have your own island in the Bahamas with a private chef, okay, then start manifesting that. Start creating that with your thoughts. If you want to have a cute tiny little cabin in the middle of the mountains, that's like on a 10-mile tract of land, there you go. Start creating that for you. It's literally, what do you want? Stop letting external circumstances tell you what's up. That's kind of like a kid telling the parent what they expect the parent to do. That's absolutely ridiculous. Don't limit yourself when you are deciding what you want. If there's something that you want, then go ahead and start creating it for yourself. And on that point, I want to add something as well. A lot of times people will, for example, have this idea that they will have to work really, 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 really hard at something, and maybe, hopefully, they'll be able to create it for themselves. And so when they think about it like that, they get discouraged from trying in the first place. It's kind of like, for me, for example, there was a time I wanted to lose some weight. But I had this idea that I had to go to the gym, and it was this drive, and then I just didn't feel like working out with other people around and all of this. And so I put it off, and I put it off, and then I put on a little more weight, and I kept putting it off, and then I got discouraged, and I was like, well, now it's just going to take so much longer to lose the weight. I mean, why even bother, right? It wasn't until I sort of woke up to what I was doing, and I said, no, this is ridiculous. And I made things work. I got myself an elliptical. I put it in my kitchen. I just started jumping on it whenever I felt like it. I didn't force myself to do something I didn't want to do, but I created a setup that worked for me, that encouraged me being able to work out, right? And then I also used intentions, like for, for example, every half mile that I go on this elliptical equals like 2 miles. Start and intending too, that you see quick results, that I feel like I'm already the weight that I've wanted to be. It's all about how you approach your manifestations. And if you think that something's going to be very, very difficult, then you're probably not ever going to get started on creating it in the first place. There's a story in the Bible, and I don't remember the exact details, but the gist of it is that there was a man who hadn't walked in like 20 years. And he waited by this spring of water, I believe, for somebody to heal him, right? There was supposed to be these angels or something that would come through and like stir the waters, and then people would be healed. So he did this. Nothing happened. And then he heard about Jesus. And so when Jesus came around, he asked if he could heal him. And he said, no, your faith has healed you. And the man said, no, it hasn't. If I could just touch the hem of your garment, I could be healed. And Jesus said, basically, your faith has already made you whole. And the man still didn't believe it. And so I think finally Jesus kind of was like, okay, fine, touch my gown or whatever. And the guy did. And then Jesus said, your faith has healed you. Take up your mat and walk. And because the man had believed that if he would touch the hem of Jesus's garment, he believed that's what healed him, he picked up his mat and he walked off. The key is, what Jesus was trying to explain in this scenario, is that if he had just believed in himself from the start, none of this would have happened, right? But sometimes we put our beliefs in these external circumstances. And so he waited for 20 years instead of just not succumbing to that belief in the first place. You see? And so with you, if there's something that you want to manifest, go ahead and create that you're going to receive that ASAP. Go ahead and say, it's going to be extremely easy for me to manifest this. Stop thinking about this manifestation as something that's really overwhelming and it's going to take a lot of work, and think about it as like, you know, just something like a little, maybe like a little dip in the road or something. It's no big deal. Create that you feel your intentions working right away. Create that you believe in the law of assumption. When you are using these intentions, you're building in your belief. Don't think about it as something that you're going to have to spend, for example, hours and hours and hours of studying, and it's just going to be extremely difficult. Stop creating limitations for yourself. And when you can start thinking, what limitations have I set for myself? You're able to look at the world around you and start to notice, oh my gosh, like, okay, here's something I did, you know, here's another limiting belief I created, and, you know, that whole, oh, Mondays are horrible kind of thing that you always hear people at work saying. That one really gets on my nerves. People used to say that at my old job, and I used to just agree with them, and then Mondays were awful. And then I stopped, and I started either not responding, or I would say, what? Mondays are awesome. And they really got aggravated when I would say that. It was like they fought against it because it was this long-standing belief, and they got used to enjoying being miserable and enjoying commiserating with each other about being miserable for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they got used to it. I have no idea. All I know is, to be honest with you, it really got on my nerves. And so I started saying, no, Mondays are amazing. Mondays are wonderful. And honestly, I love Mondays now. Maybe it's because they used to be awful and it's like that big contrast. I don't know, but you know what? I love Mondays. They're awesome. So if you see these kind of long-held beliefs, especially that are, you know, like echoed by groups of people, don't feed into that. Don't fall into the traps of these limiting beliefs, because once you start noticing, you're going to see there are a lot of them. You know, and these ideas, you have to have, you know, like a really high GPA, really good grades. You have to have a really good credit score. You have to have lots of money in your bank account. All this stuff. This is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Stop thinking that external circumstances and people outside of you can dictate a single thing about your life. You are so much stronger than that. Don't believe the lies. There's a lot of lies that have been created over time that are designed to trap people into thinking that they can't live the lives that they want unless they spend a lot of money and they work really, really, really hard for very low amounts of pay, you know, suffering through circumstances where they're not allowed to take time off work when they need it, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things like this, and they are simply not true. They're lies. Life is supposed to be abundant, joyful, easy, and effortless. It's not supposed to be difficult. So when you see people or advertisements and you hear music and all of this stuff that's talking about how difficult life is and how hard you have to work only to be disappointed, please, please don't listen to that. Just don't feed into the lies. So I intend that this inspires you guys and helps you to start really thinking for yourself. Don't allow other people to tell you what to think or believe. I mean, I know it's ironic, right? I'm saying this here right now. So if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, don't listen to it either, right? But what I'm saying is it's just so helpful when you can start to think for yourself and decide what the rules of your reality are. Nobody else ultimately has the authority to decide that except for you, unless you decide other people can. And then you will see the illusion of them being able to decide what the rules of your reality are. So, if you'd like any more help with this, you know, you're always welcome to book one-on-one coaching with me. If you'd like any further, you know, inspiration and help with your intentions, You know, there are those tracks that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, and I am confident that there will be many, many more to come. If you have any ideas for ones that you'd like, you know, you're more than welcome to email sessions@createyourfuture.co, and I would love to hear any input that you have. And yeah, so I appreciate all of you guys and your input, your comments, your feedback. Those of you that I know as my clients, I love you so much, and I appreciate you being a part of my life. And I intend that we all keep creating a wonderful world together. And yeah, so I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye.